All right, back to the cell phones. I believe the census is to defer for next term of council.
I have captured that council direct staff to incorporate into the 2027 budget, so it would be after the election, leading into that.
Good, great. Next one. On scene con hits. Does Chief want to speak to that or want to speak to that?
Yeah, so through you, Mr. Chair, this is to help with the cancer prevention with firefighting, deconning, gross deconning on scene after a fire eliminates probably anywhere from 70 to 80% of the contaminants and carcinogens. So looking at an effective way to help our firefighters with that.
Any questions from council?
Just a general question, Mary, the funding source is the fire protection services. Like the fire protection service is funded tax levy, grants, asset management.
Yes, so that's actually our development charges. It's the Fire Protection Services development charge.
Is there a way to differentiate all these so that we know when we're looking at it?
Yeah, so these funding sources, the way it's been incorporated, this is new. But yes, I will, it's in our new budget system, so I will add development charges to that, just so it's clear.
Thank you.
Whatever the funding source, I had the same can call it concern. For somebody that doesn't work with this every day, you know, the old style was nice when it was just basically a checkbox. So whatever way you manage it, as long as it's easier for the layman being me to understand whether it's a levy or a restricted reserve or whatever. But I recognize this is the new system and, you know, so it's all good. So thanks, John. Anything else from Councilor Hurst?
Is this a one-time expense or do you anticipate incurring it in the future?
It all depends on how often, so the soap itself will be an operational replacement as needed, but the kit itself is generally a one-time purchase and lasts quite a while.
Fire hose.
So through you, Mr. Chair, to members of council, we're looking at upgrading our current hose, the 38mm hose, which is in most fire services at this point, an obsolete hose. Going to a larger hose is easier on the trucks. We get more water. It's not as hard on the pumps. However, with this one, in discussion with Mary, was not parts or looked at before in asset management. So we have applied for a grant for it. So it's really dependent on if we get that grant, if we're gonna make the purchase.
So if you don't get the grant, you don't make the purchase.
What I would suggest, I don't know if we do this, but if we don't get the grant, we don't get the hose. If we're replacing the truck, plus 10 years from now, but anyways, maybe we can incorporate the purchase of the hose with the new truck to bring them up to standard.
If the manufacturer that's picked to build the truck supplies the hose as well, then
So that's still 10 years away. Okay, hopefully we get the grant.
Just a question, is this type of grant, are you able to apply for it year over year over year?
believe you, because it's through firehouse subs, you can only do it every other year, so every 2 years you can apply for it, you can't do it every year. Mary has asked me to work on some capital asset stuff when it comes to the replacement of hose, because it's not something that was ever looked at before. So we're gonna start to put that asset registry together, all fire hose on all the trucks, so that we can start to incorporate it.
All right. Fire hose, what's next one? Stormwater management facility.
Our Director of Public Works can speak to that one regarding the Damon Drive Stormwater Management Facility.
Thank you. Through the chair. This is the identified through our asset management that the Damon Drive Storm Pond has reached its lifetime as far as rehabilitation works. As shown on the tour, a lot of it is silt removal and vegetation clearing. I'd be happy to take any questions if necessary.
Mike, just a question, is this being done in-house or is this being contracted out?
Through the chair, this initiative will be contracted out. Currently, Public Works doesn't have the excavator equipment needed for the silt removal.
Right, okay.
All right, grader. The maintenance increase.
Yes. So through Mr. Chair, this is to establish a contingency fund to address any emergency repairs that may arise with this asset. It's due to making sure that the unit remains operational, again, due to the use with the roadside mower attachment, but the Director of Public Works is here as well, if there's any specific questions.
All right, any questions?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Mike, just a question, not about the 70,000 really, but we're trying to make this grader last longer. So can you speak to once Carter Road and Cooks Mill and all that is paved? Will that help kind of the lifespan of this grader then?
Through the chair, currently, the grader identified is 502. It is the oldest unit we have. 501 is the newest grader we purchased several years ago. That is the main piece of equipment responsible for gravel road maintenance. We did establish a brushing unit on this grader. Basically, the grader is used as a power source for the mower. It brushes back all the roadside trees and things like that. So again, this grader is also utilized in winter time for ice blading during severe ice storms. So it's a combination of two functions that it currently serves. The premise for the 70,000 is the grader is running well. It is identified as a 25-year-old unit. Has close to 7,000 hours on it, I believe. This is more of a contingency where any major components such as transmission, motor, any type of electronics or hydraulics are in need of repair. The money is there to repair it quickly and get it back into service. If we continue with this machine and it continues to operate well and the money is not utilized, then the consensus was to use that 70,000 toward the purchase of a new grader to be looked at in another 5 years or so.
Okay, great. And can you just speak to who does the maintenance on the grader? Is that done in-house?
Yes, the intent is we do have an individual who's been identified as our main mechanic. He is quite competent in diagnosing and replacing parts as needed. Of course, anything large like a motor replacement and transmission replacement, we are under the mercy of the contractor or vendor to do that work for us. We just don't have the equipment. So again, that is the reason for the 70,000 in case of an emergency like that. But a lot of the maintenance is done in-house.
Great, thank you.
Outside more. You again, Mr. Fowler?
Yes, through the chair. This is a smaller tractor with a roadside mower attachment. Its main focus will be our roadside grass cutting. I'd just like to differentiate between the two units. This tractor will be involved in all of our storm pond cuttings and roadside mower grass cutting. The other unit that is currently on grader 502, it is more of a brushing unit. It is used to knock back trees, branches, things like that. It currently is doing the job of our roadside mowing, but it is very slow. It is the fuel consumption is quite high, and it is really not the proper unit to be using for roadside mowing. This smaller tractor will, in my estimate, cut down roadside mowing by 50% as far as time and resources as far as employees being in the unit to get the job done. It is also large enough that the operator would be safe operating in live traffic. Any other information or questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Council?
Just a question on the funding, Mary, it says services related to highway, again, is that primarily asset management or combination of couple sources?
That's development charges. And cash and move parkland is at the 20% based on the use that Mr. Fowler has indicated.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Stormwater perpetual maintenance.
So I can speak to this, and then Ms. Hoyt Fox and Mr. Fowler can add to it if I've missed anything. But this was just incorporated in the forecast upon completion of the CLI ECA, which is currently in the works, with the hopes to be completed in 2026, just based on when the ministry issues their approval. And so there are some funds in here for creation of a stormwater perpetual maintenance bylaw, as discussed in previous budget deliberations.
When do we expect to get the okay from the province?
So through Mr. Chair, we are still on track to have that application submitted by year end. That's what our engineering firm has indicated. And then from there, we're waiting on their timelines.
Councilor Bailey, anything? Nope. Okay, great.
Mr. Fowler would be able to speak to the PCC upgrade in the next capital budget sheet for the bar counter, bar door, and cosmetic upgrades.
Mr. Fowler?
Thank you. Through the chair, this is the serving bar area at the PCC. We have identified through the AODA that currently the bar is not compliant with accessibility. The intent is to redesign the bar area, kind of again establishing a serving area similar to the front counter at the administration office with a lower level that would be accessible for serving. Again, upgrades would be new plumbing, fixtures, a complete bar rebuild, and minor cosmetic changes to basically just close in the Wi-Fi cords and things like that. So any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
The only piece I can think of in terms of moving forward, I'm supportive of it, would be just some discussion with some of the organizations that most utilize it to make sure that it's functional. That's inside baseball design stuff. I'm good with it.
Good. I think that's it for capital budget sheets, right?
Yes, that is it. And then the next few pages of the report just discuss the capital forecast from 2027 to 2035.
Anybody have any concerns with any forecasts from 27 to 2035? I want to go back to the bar. Michael, is it already decided that the roll-up door will stay? I want to propose a motion that the new design incorporates that roll-up door. It's been a staple of the community for 40 years.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the roll-up door. Now, I'm not sure if it will still be basically a miniature version of a garage door, but the intent was to whether it be a pull side-to-side type metal curtain or grates that would also still provide security for any renter leaving food or alcohol in the freezer. So that is yet to be determined, and that cannot obviously be changed before final design is completed.
Appreciate the response. All right, don't believe we have anything further on the forecast.
I have one question.
Shoot.
Sorry, Mike, this is another question about the grader. I'm on page 72. So it doesn't say what grader. Oh, yes, it does. It's 502. Says it has about close to 10,000 hours. And we're budgeting the 70,000 for the maintenance. But what is the projected replacement year?
Through the chair, it was originally identified for this year as to be completely replaced. Upon review, we are confident within Public Works that this unit can be maintained and utilized for another 5. With the possible addition of the roadside mower, this unit will not be used to the extremes that it is now as far as roadside mowing. So in conjunction with that and the proper maintenance, we are comfortable pushing ahead for another 5 years.
I didn't see it on here, but I know it's in there somewhere.
Great. All right, you guys need any more from us, decisions or clarity?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I believe we have it all, but maybe just double check with our Director of Finance. I can also read what I've captured just to make sure as well.
We'll ask her first and we'll have you read it. Mrs. Sam?
Yes, so I believe we've discussed all of the schedules in the report now, just related to the grader item that was just discussed. The forecast does include the 70,000 in 2026, but it doesn't include the full replacement in 5 years' time, so that will need to be reflected in the next version of the capital budget that's presented to council for the full replacement in 2030. But I'll work with the director to determine if 2030 is the correct year.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I've captured is that the report be received, that council approve the recommendation outlined in Schedule E, the road rehabilitation and speed study analysis for budget consideration as presented, subject to public outreach to the residents impacted by the proposed speed limit changes. And the council directs staff to report back to council prior to the road reconstruction, and that this public engagement be incorporated into the process for determining speed changes on an annual basis. That council approve the adjustments to the 2026 capital budget and forecast to identify opportunities to defer, reduce, or eliminate projects to better align with long-term asset management and financial planning objectives as presented. The council directs staff to report back on procurement options related to the replacement of the aerial truck, including options to purchase used and or retrofit. And the council directs staff to incorporate the 688,000 incremental cost to upgrade the following road sections to double lift construction with the next iteration of the capital budget for consideration. So that was the Victoria Road South, Leslie Road West to County Road 36, Victoria Road South, Leslie Road West to the Flamborough plus Lynchtown line, and Concession Road 2, Side Road 10 to County Road 35. And that council directs staff to incorporate the 32K for increased maintenance of the aerial ladder truck into the operating budget for consideration. Council directs staff to incorporate the 30K for increased gravel maintenance, dust suppression into the operating budget for consideration. The council directs staff to proceed with incorporating option 1, the non-remote option, into the 2026 budget, and that option 2, the remote battery operated 3-year warranty noise reader, be included in the 2027 budget deliberations. And the council directs staff to incorporate the following capital budget sheets into the 2026 budget. So that was the drone, the on-scene decontamination kits, the upgraded fire hose and nozzles, again contingent on grant funding, the Damon Drive Stormwater Management Facility, the Grader 502 Contingency Fund, the roadside mower, tractor and flail, the stormwater perpetual maintenance bylaw, and the bar counter, bar door and cosmetic upgrades. And the council directs staff to incorporate the cell phones for council members into the 2027 budget.
All right, can I go?
Just a question on the noise meter. I think it's option 3 that we picked, not option 1.
Oh, it was 2. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, option 3 is the non-remote manual option. Yes, sorry.
So, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to move on, please, Councilor Lewis, Councilor Hurst, any last questions or comments? All in favor? All right, that's carried. Well done.
Yeah, really good report.
Yeah.
That was really great. Any new business? No. I have announcements on this meeting. Do the regular one, okay, confirmatory bylaw?
The following bylaw be taken as read 3 times and finally passed by the council. Bylaw 2025-081 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for the corporation of the township of West Lynch at its meeting held on the 22nd day of October 2025.
Please, Counselor Bailey, Counselors, favor. Carried, and do adjournment. Adjournment, please.
Also hereby adjourns at 11:42 a.m.
Counselor Spillis, Counselor Hurst, all in favor, carried. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you.